everybody. It's story time again. Backwoods Terror, Part 2. Are you ready? Feel like WWE with DX. Are you ready? I was checking out the numbers on Backwoods Terror 1 earlier. It's almost got like 40 some views, and that was like real quick. I didn't expect it to even have that much. And it's still growing. It's like every so often I take a look at it, and it's grown a number or two. So I figured, fuck it. It's still growing. Why not part 2, right? Which I was checking the story out, and there's actually more than 2 parts. So I know I stated this is a 2-part story, but there's actually more than 2 parts, and I'm going to give it all to you. Not just one, not just 2, but I'm going to give you the whole story, because why start something and not finish it? You know what? So, part 1 is out now. If you haven't listened to it, it's up. Check it out. Recap it. Do what you got to do. Part 2 will be available here soon. And we're going to finish this thing, man. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty. And after the whole story has been read, we can speculate on it. We can talk about it. We can give our insights, our thoughts, and whatever we want to do. Before a quick update on The Ones Who Live, episode 5 and 6 recap, thoughts and opinions, that is coming this Sunday. So be ready. This Sunday, I got to be ready. You be ready. This Sunday, The Ones Who Live, episode 5 and episode 6, the series finale. Rick Grimes, Michonne, Walking Dead. For all you deadheads out there, I will be live Sunday, and I will give you the scoop on my thoughts and opinions. I got 2 episodes to talk about. It's going to be a ride. I just hope I can get it done the right way, like I want to get it done. And after that, you will have it in conclusion. So, at this point, we are going to continue our journey, our story with Jamison Sampson, and see how things work out for him in this horror story I call Backwoods Terror. Let me sit this down here. The intro to part 2 starts 34 years later. And there's a reason why I did that, and I'll explain to you here in a minute. Okay, miss, you are the proud owner of the Southgate Ranch. We thank you for doing business with us, the clerk says. Walking outside the bank, a voice yells, "You lucky bitch." So it's party time, right? Well, after a little remodeling task at first, Mike yells. Yes, throw a get-together to warm the place up, and may something else if you can handle that heat, Lisa replies. Opening the Jeep door, saying, "We are going to need help getting this place in shape." It's all good, babe. Kevin and Melissa would love to get their hands dirty. I'll give them a call, Mike replies. While Melissa and Kevin are finishing up from their sexual activities, the phone rings. It's Mike. Answer it. Lisa just finished the paperwork for the Southgate, and it needs working hands. Say no more, bro. I'll let Melissa know and meet you guys up at the ranch this weekend. Okay, see you fuckers then. Lisa states, this place is going to be great place for our future, kids and us. I'm not leaving our relationship behind on this new chapter of our lives. After hours of driving and now arriving to the ranch, Lisa looks toward the house to notice a person standing in the window but quickly vanishing. This place looks abandoned for years, but I just seen someone. There is no way all this driving your eyes must be playing tricks on you. Still on the road, Kevin and Melissa stop on the side of the road for a break. Getting out of the car, ready to light up a joint, Kevin looks up and notices two gravestones. Look, Melissa, dead people. Want to smoke with the dead? Would be hella cool. Do you have any respect? I assume not. Such a jackass. But if you notice, this one doesn't have a death date, so means that they're still alive somewhere, she explains. The wind picks up and the feeling of eyes watching starts to set in. Let's go, Kevin. Yeah, the dead needs rest. Sorry, Death, didn't mean to bother you. Yelling as they pull off. A possum crawls up on the stone marked Jameson Sampson, blood leaking from his mouth. Meanwhile, back at Southgate Ranch, construction has begun on the property. Kevin and Melissa arrive to help. Jameson sits alone feeling weird. The hammer banging starts to drive him crazy, like something setting in an uncontrollable urge. I must remain calm, but why can't I feel things or people hear me as they walk by? This ain't normal by any means. Please, God, help me. Tell me this is just a dream, he cries. Weeks go by, things have been changed. The barn is now host to events and outside activities. The house has been remodeled. Jameson lurks the halls, feeling as if he has nothing to live for. It's been 30 some years, and Shelley hasn't once tried to reach out or visit. Looking out the window, the garden remains intact. Field work should calm my nerves, Jameson says. The worker draws back his hammer, only to be removed by Jameson, then quickly bashing the head of it into the skull. Blood pours down his neck. A snake like tongue comes out. This monster that looks like Jameson, leaking as it drips, saying, You bastards are going to pay for what you have done for sure. Opening and consuming the head in a hungry rage, Lisa brings drinks to notice a headless body floating in the air, but suddenly dropping, yelling, Call 911, please, somebody. The cops arrive. Miss, did you see anyone else in the house besides the worker? No, sir. I was making drinks downstairs. We are going to check around to see if anyone has done forceful entry. Try to relax. We will handle this. Don't worry. Jameson hides in the basement, confused, feeling weak and powerless, but very aware of his actions. That is the end of part 2. His shit's starting to get deep, people. It's starting to heat up. Yes, sir. It's starting to get live. So, a little recap on parts 1 and 2 that was just read. Starvation for Jameson Sampson and his ranch. Crops wasn't growing. Massive heat wave. Nothing was being produced. Him and his wife were starving. She finally got fed up with it. It's not that she didn't love him. It's not that she didn't want to be with him. It's just that she wasn't willing to die. It's just starvation. And it makes you think all this starvation between the both of them, especially for him. Maybe, they say if you starve, you start to hallucinate, right? So that's the way I kind of wanted to bring it in, almost like a hallucination, but very real. He wasn't hallucinating. Shit did happen, but you could blame it on starvation if you wanted to. And she did leave. Like I said, she wrote the letter. He read it, and he's all alone now. But stating like he stated in part two, why can't nobody see me? Why can't nobody hear me? Well, that's something I'll explain later on. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away because it'll give the story away. And if you noticed, the remodeling of the ranch and the house and everything, they've turned the barn into a event holder. It's almost like you want to throw a party, you want to throw a get together, family reunion. You know, you can do that now. The barn ain't the same no more. The only thing left that is still original at the ranch is his field that they haven't done any construction on, nor do they know what to do with it. So, makes you think, is the field the only thing keeping him there? Is it, keeping, his presence there? But if you also noticed that the character Lisa seen his image through the window. So it's almost got that Beetlejuice vibe, how Lydia could see the maintenance through the window and nobody else could, right? So that's, like I said, that's what I wanted to bring to the story. I wanted to bring the paranormal. I wanted to bring the typical slasher vibe to it. I wanted to bring a almost like a creature feature kind of deal to it. If you noticed when it said the snake-like tongue. So I'm not going to get too much into it. We still got a couple more parts to go, I believe, and the story really starts heating up. Really starts getting down and dirty, especially as these new young people have taken over the ranch and are disrespecting the property. And later on in the end, you'll find out why all this is happening. Hey Jay, I'm listening and gardening. All right. Yeah, I just read part two of Backwoods Terror. If you're a little late to the live here, you can always go back and listen to it again. I came on a little early today. I was supposed to come on at 5, but I figured I'd just jump on here early for the hell of it and get it done. But like I said, there's more parts to it. I'm gonna see what the first video is doing well. It's still growing. I'll see what this one does, and if everything's good to go tomorrow, I'll give you part 3. Like I said, the story's starting to heat up. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get wild. So stick around and see. Truth, thanks for stopping by. I hate to cut out early on you, but that was actually a short chapter. I'll tell you what. Let me think. Give you a second here. Fuck it, let's read some more. Y'all want to find out what's a little bit more? Anybody want to find out some more? I just think that was too short. I don't want to leave you hanging. Let's hear some more, right? And remember, the cops in this story are friggin' goofballs. If you can imagine it in your head, like a Friday the 13th or something, the cops are idiots, friggin' idiots. All right, part 3. Here we go. Here we go. Let's give you a little bit more. Backwoods Terror, part 3. While standing in the barn, looking around at the finished project, Kevin has a sense that someone is watching. I must be paranoid from the weed. Shit is fire, though. Lisa and Melissa are clearing the crop field, but from a distance, Jameson stands in the woods. What the hell are they doing? Nothing will grow if they strip the field. Why are they destroying everything I built for me and Shelley? But Shelley's memory is still buried in the back of his head. Or his mind, sorry. Got a little ahead of myself. A storm is on its way, with heavy winds and massive rainfall. Mike goes out to check things around the ranch, dropping his cell phone in the mud. Damn, just my luck, Mike says. Yeah, shitty, ain't it? Jameson replies. Driving a pitchfork into his skull, dragging the body into the cellar outside the barn, not to be noticed, Jameson's eyes glow green, saying, "Let's have some fun," in a wicked tone. The storm becomes more powerful. Lisa stands seeing flashes of the headless body floating at the top of the stairs with a cold feeling chilling her bones. Lights flicker, and an image of Jameson's face appears over her right shoulder. His snake-like tongue slithers up and down her cheek, whispers, "Death has come for you." Jameson finds himself in the outside, his truck parked in the woods away from the house. I must find Shelley. She can stop this madness before any more kids have to perish from these evil deeds. Her aunt should help me with the proper location for her. As Jameson drives down the foggy highway to the city, memories of Shelley enters his mind, hoping to forget all the evil that has come to surface. These last few months, knowing deep down inside everything that has happened isn't normal by any means. That entity person is out for blood. I can feel it. Nothing holy about anything he says must be hell sent. Knocking on Susan's door, she answers, "Yes, who is it?" "It's Jameson. Is Shelley here? It's very important I speak with her." "She left 2 months ago with Brandon." Jameson states, "Who's Brandon?" "Her boyfriend for the past 6 months. I will call her to see if she wants to speak to you, Jameson. Please come in." Shelley arrives to notice that Jameson hasn't aged at all and wondering why in her mind. "Please, Shelley, something is wrong. I've seen too much death. Innocent people are dying at the ranch." "How is that possible? You're the only one there. Makes no sense. You have finally lost your mind. I seen it coming, but didn't believe it." would ever lead to something like this. Nobody can see or hear me. I don't understand. How come you still look young? She grabs a mirror and faces it towards him. No reflection. And the only thing I know that is like this is something dead or soulless. I'm very much alive, but that still doesn't answer these deadly events that's happening around me. Jameson looks up with a concerned look on his face. This Brandon guy, Shelley replies. Yes, what about him? I'm not trying to be in your business, but I am curious at this point. Jameson, I know this looks bad for marriage, but it felt like you didn't care sometimes. My love for you is still strong. You're a good man and have a good heart, but your thinking and selfish ways made me walk away that day. It's time to forgive and forget and move forward in life. What's left of it, please understand. Anger rising, Jameson punches the wall, turning with rage, eyes glow green. They will all die, and you will too. I will destroy you just like you have done to me. Picking Susan up and crushing her windpipe, Shelley stabs him, feeling no pain, smacks her across the room, knocking her out. He notices on the table Brandon's workplace and ID. Jameson states, well, Brandon, it's time we meet for the first time and the last time. Waking up from the floor, shaking and confused, Shelley looks at the table and says, oh no, Brandon. Back at the ranch, Lisa finds the wedding photo of Jameson and Shelley and starts to look for clues and answers to this madness that has suddenly arrived. Brandon finishes cleanup and restock entry at the hardware shop. While clocking out, the store's power goes out. So he heads to the storage room to check the breaker. Opening the storage door, it slams behind him. Thinking nothing of it at first, the radio comes on, playing Elvis, Are You Lonesome Tonight? Suddenly turning off, he lights a lighter to see Jameson's green eyes in front of the breaker box. Hello, Brandon. Fading away, fading away from the door in the hallway, you hear screams and a body being thrown around. Then a crunch sound. The door opens. Blood starts flowing underneath the door. Jameson walks out covered in blood, his snake tongue licking the dead flesh off his monster like fingers, leaving the hardware shop. A truck pulls up, and Shelley gets out, yelling, Brandon! Entering the shop, the power is still out, creeping towards the back hall to see the emergency hall light flicker. She make her way to the storage room to notice blood dripping down the walls and a puddle in front of the door. Please, God, no, Shelley cries, seeing Brandon's headless body laying on the floor with a broom handle lodged in his back. Shaking and very upset, she sees a large fire axe saying, This shit ends now. Evil will finally sleep tonight. That is the end of part 3. Kate, you're a trip. Flashlights all around. Y'all actually got lucky today, and I gave you parts 2 and 3. Like I said, it's starting to heat up. Shit's starting to get real. You mean 2? No, actually, it is part 2 and 3 that I just read there. But I'll have to change the uh, I'll have to change the title to it, or let everybody know that there's actually a little more. The reason why I gave you part 3 in this video is because part 2 was actually kind of short, like real short, and I was like, well, that's crap. How how about a little bit more? Why not? Yeah, part 1 was last night, absolutely. So in this video, you actually get 2 parts. This is a 2-parter. So you got part 1 and basically 2 and 3 all in one video. So I'll have to fix that. I know I'm such a tease. I know. It's because I really like the story, and I wish I could just sit here and just read it all at once to you, but I kind of want to not do that. I don't want to give it all to you at once. I want you to speculate. I want you to use your head as these parts come out and visualize in your mind of what's going on. How many parts are there going to be? Well, let's see. We're getting down to the nitty, so we ain't got much more left, I don't believe. No, not really. I believe there's one more. Yeah, I believe there's just one more. Yep, one more. Part 4 is it. Yep. But we won't give that right now. It is the final finale. It's the finale. I got a vision, all right. Oh man. Yeah, bring your flashlight. Damn, I can't even talk. Why does this feel like a Friday? It does, kind of. It does. It feels weird. It does feel weird. And I wanted to come on today because we got some storms coming in tonight, and I think one tomorrow. And I don't know if I'll be able to do anything live tomorrow or anything like that. So I figured I'd go ahead and let's go. Read you some more. But yeah, like I said about this story, it's got that paranormal feel. It makes you think. I mean, how you got, if you go back and listen to part 2 or in early part 3, you got Jameson Sampson. Is he alive or is he dead? Because if you notice, when the couple see the gravestones, they see his gravestone, but it doesn't have a death date on it. It's got when he was born, but it doesn't have when he died. And it's weird how certain people can see him and others can't. The only thing they see when it's down to the nitty gritty is the monster. That's the only thing they're going to see. Weird. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. And there was also a dream sequence in I think it was in early in part 2. I just forgot to announce it was a dream sequence, but there was one in there. So his fate is in limbo. Could be. You know, I never thought about that, Kate. Could be. It's kind of Yeah, I mean, you might be right about that. I'd never thought about even writing a story. I'd never thought about that. But is it really a dream? Hey, that's what I'm trying to say. Is it really a dream? Makes you think. It is weird. It's got its weirdness to it. I mean, we flat out know from part 1 at the end. We flat out know that the entity or whatever, the demonic entity that showed up, that is a dead giveaway of selling your soul to the devil to get what you want. I mean, you got to look at it. That was the dead giveaway. Well, you know this bunch knows. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pass for Pet says I got to hear 1 and 2. Interesting. Mm. Absolutely. It's like I said, the first part is set back in the 80s. The second part starts 34 years later, which would make it 2018. And the reason why I did that, I'll just go ahead and give you a little spoiler. The reason why I did that, because when I wrote this story, I was 34 years old. So that's why I labeled the intro to the second part 34 years later. And I had a great soundtrack in my head, a great playlist for a good soundtrack to this story. It had, like I said, part 1's in the 80s and stuff. It had Poison, Alice Cooper. Oh man, Skid Row. Uh, oh man, so many other classics, 80s rock songs, to give it that 80s vibe for that first part. Then the second part, like I said, was 2018, so I was going to find certain songs in 2018 to fit that time period. Dokken, probably. There probably would have been some in there. Or Dokken. I hope I didn't butcher it, but hey, there probably would have been some in there. Kicks, could have been. Mm-hmm. Some Dio, little Ronnie James Dio. Metallica, yeah. I think I have one in mind. Absolutely. And ACDC. Yeah. A matter of fact, I did have an ACDC song in there. I don't remember which one it was though. Uh, yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, there was one in there. You got off track. That's all right. It's all right. We all do. Probably Hell's Bells. No, actually, it wasn't. It was. Mm, like I said, I don't remember. It's been so long ago. I actually had a playlist on YouTube back in that time with all the songs that I was going to use for this. Uh, I might have to rebuild it and and put it up and share it out. Yeah, it wasn't Hell's Bells, but you can't have a good rock soundtrack without ACDC somewhere in there, you know? Yeah, I think I had LA Guns on there, Cinderella, uh, Rat. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Def Leppard, of course. Yeah, it was a bun. It was a good idea. Yeah, like I said, I might have to build a more up to date playlist and put it on my channel, and that's what I'll label it: the Backwoods Terror soundtrack. Cruisers, ACDC back in the old days. That's right. I grew up hearing that. Everything the Back in Black, TNT, Dirty Deeds, all that stuff. Hell, I still listen to them to this day. I got their new album. What was it called? Power Up? Yeah, I still listen to them today. That is one band I can say when you listen to them, the sound doesn't change. ACDC, you know, they got their iconic sound, and it's like every album that you get of ACDC, it's there it is. It's like it doesn't change. It don't get high tech or anything like that. It's just strictly the ACDC sound that you grew up listening to, and that's it. There's not a lot of technology, you know, a lot of like sound effects and nothing like that. It's just pure rock and roll. Drums, guitars, that's it. That's all you need. Sammy Hagar, there's only one way to rock. There you go. I don't think I had any Hagar on there, but I might put some on this one. That you can't drive, but what it was, I can't drive 55. There you go. She said, I have blown my fair share of car speakers. Ain't we all? I've blown my fair share of home stereo speakers. Trust me. Motley Crue. There you go. Yeah, that's good stuff too. I might have to put that on there. Shout, shout at the devil, shout. Mm-hmm. But I'm also working on another story that I was talking about, I think, last night. I've got a couple parts done. Well, I've got a part done. I started working on it about uh, maybe the same year, I believe. Yeah, yeah. I started working on it in 2018 in November. It's called "What Lies Inside." I'll give you a little sneak preview. One of my brothers blew too many. It's easy to do. I'll give you a little sneak preview of the second story I'm working on that is making my brain work overtime. Y'all are just getting all kinds of goodies today. I'm giving sneak previews and extra parts and everything today. Y'all are getting the full experience today. Well, here's a sneak preview of What Lies Inside, Part 1. The intro is Luke Connor is a young business owner in a small town outside of Memphis, Tennessee. Very attractive and has a slight obsession for beautiful women. But the ladies notice something out of place about him. Memories start to surface, and his obsession is going to open doors and unlock secrets that have been stored away for years, or at least Luke thought they were stored away. Now, that's all I can give you on that one. It is called What Lies Inside. Mm-hmm. Sweet a Boldest Ripper chapter. You think it's kind of like Jack the Ripper? You think that's where it's going? You're gonna be surprised when it I know where it's going. It's just how to deliver it. I know the story I'm wanting to tell. It's just the delivery and how to bring it out is what's really kicking my ass. And it's even complex for me. But I'm gonna let you think that it's got that Ripper thing going until you hear the story and you'll be like, well, I was totally off. But we'll go with it. We'll go with it for right now. And I've got a third story in mind. It's in my brain. It's just how I want to tell it. Uh, and the third story is going to be titled Rush. And there's a reason why I'm gonna title it that, because it's got a main theme song to it, which is Paula Abdul's Rush Rush, and you'll understand the reason. It's weird. Yeah, it's going to be weird how that all ties in. But it's actually a crazy story, and funny in its own way. We have another Stephen King amongst us. Absolutely, yeah. I've got ideas, man. I've got ideas. I just got to bring them out. Yeah, Rush is going to be it's going to be something. I've got a little plot synopsis to it too. I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. You've got a serial killer doing a cross country, and you know what serial killer does? He does his killing, but this one's going across the United States. Well, one night, a serial killer now driving down the interstate sees a hitchhiker, picks him up. You know, it's kind of got that Hitcher vibe to it, but your protagonist is a killer, and he picks up a hitchhiker that is also a killer. So you've got two killers inside of your car, but there's a little difference between. But the story is you're going to learn that yeah, you might be a killer, but there's always somebody worse than you. That's all I can say about Rush. That's all I can say. That the serial killer that's driving across the United States doing his due screws up and picks up maybe somebody that's a little worse than him. Wowzers. And am I going to have a fun time telling that one? Because there's a scene in that story, Rush, and I want to bring it out perfect. It's a country bar scene, or in like a little one horse town, stop and get a break, country bar scene that I want to tell where the guy's got his eyes on his next victim or whatever, but the lights dim. That damn song comes on out of the blue, which is Paula Abdul's Rush Rush. And he happens to notice the other idiot that he picked up on the side of the road staring at him from across the dance floor, smiling, eye contact right there. And I don't know how to go with it. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But that is one of the scenes that I will read in the story is going to be the old Western bar, or the basically the bar scene. it's going to be fucked up. Trust me. Buckle up. Yeah, you're in for it. You're in for a ride. You are in for it. Yes, sir. So just remember, you have What Lies Inside coming soon, and Rush coming at some point. At some point. I will keep everybody up to date on the process of those incomplete stories and when they are ready to be told. But that being said, Parts 1 of Backwoods Terror is out. If you haven't seen the video, it's on my channel. Check it out. Leave comments. Let me know what you think, or your speculations, thoughts, and opinions. This video has parts 2 and 3 all in one rip, and a little bit of preview of what's coming soon. Leave your comments in the comment thing. Like it, share it, Rewatch it. Do what you do until your heart's content. Anybody new new subscribers, I hope you enjoy it. We're doing fresh content. And by the way, Kate, I got an update on the Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. This Sunday, episodes 5 and 6 will be talked about. Thoughts and opinions, recaps, Rick Grimes, Michonne, CRM business. The Ones Who Live, episodes 5 and 6, this Sunday. Be there or be square or catch it when you can catch it. It's going down this Sunday, this weekend. So be prepared. Until then, you've got some Backwoods Terror to catch up on, and any other shit show circus on YouTube you want to catch up on when you're not watching me and listening to me. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.